Alex Linhaven, WVLQ Port St. John. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida. And now, the Gulf Coast's newest sports talk host.
Hey, there's the new guy.
Paul Wilson.
That is not winning football.
Paul is your pipeline to the heart of the action.
The defense can only play this good for so long.
Hot takes, big reactions, and your calls are incoming.
This week, it's really going to be crucial.
The Sports Blitz.
They're playing championship football.
The new Sports Blitz.
You can say what you want.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
At the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're almost there, baby, to the weekend. But we definitely got some great stuff to talk about today. I'm pumped up and ready to go, man. We have a lot of local stuff to talk about, which is awesome. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. We are here live and local in the CBC Construction Studio. Don't forget, tonight you've got Vegas at Denver for Thursday Night Football. Coverage starts right after the show. Kickoff's at 7:15. Don't forget to watch that. As always, on a Thursday, I got the Making Bacon himself in here, Jeffrey. How you doing, Jeffrey?
It's the best shirt of the week.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Is it not?
That's
a good-looking shirt.
Yeah, it's a good-looking shirt.
It's soft.
Soft.
It's really good. I didn't realize that the Making Bacon are not affiliated with any
Major League team.
They're independent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of it.
So I had Montgomery biscuits, the jumbo shrimp, and then the trash pandas.
Yep. And then
this is the fourth one, and that's all I got, man.
I like Making Bacon. It looks good.
Yeah. If I do get a fifth one, it'll be probably the Shuckers.
Yeah.
Biloxi Shuckers.
Biloxi, yeah.
Now, what do you call it? Mobile had the Bay Bears, but they are the trash pandas.
Yeah.
That's where they moved to.
Yeah.
Do you think that's bad?
It was for Mobile because I thought that it was good, but it didn't work out for them.
Yeah.
But, it is part of it, man. But good-looking shirt on a good-looking guy. Come on.
What? Come on.
And also, as always, on Thursday, we got Bone Crusher crushing the ones and the twos. How you doing, Bone Crusher?
Dude, the Macon Bacon from Macon, Georgia. We got the Macon Whoopie hockey stick in there. I mean, that's my...
Wait, what is the Macon Whoopie?
No. That's it's a minor league hockey team that was in Macon, Georgia.
You're kidding me.
Macon Whoopie.
I got to get a shirt.
No, you don't.
I don't?
Oh, yeah, you can if you want to. And always on Thursday, we usually have in studio, but not able to join us in studio. But however, the Boyle House is still going to be here. Lone Star Boyle House is on. Stone Cold Brian Austin. How you doing today, Stone Cold?
What's up, guys? Welcome.
Oh, man. I know that's right. You got some stuff going on tonight that you're doing that made it to where you couldn't come in, but, man, we're glad that you called in. Tell us what's going on.
So we're down at Bay Point at the marina down here. They've got a big celebration going on, sunset celebration. They got live music. It's open to the public, too, and we're out here boiling king crab, snow crab, red shrimp, Gulf shrimp, corn, sausage, potatoes, all the works.
Oh, man. That sounds
made it a little
good.
hard for me to get out of here, so I didn't want to get behind.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. We know you only have about 5 minutes with us because of that. Let's talk about it. What in the world? How about Arch Manning this weekend playing some good football? Now, this kind of playing by him was something that was shocking to me, but this is what everybody's been talking about, that, this is what Arch is supposed to look like. So how did you think he did?
Fantastic. Lord, I mean, he looked really good the last 3 weeks, honestly. The overall team didn't look good against Kentucky and Mississippi State, but Arch is, I think he's found his groove finally. I know I've said that before, and then he's let me down a week. But man, he looked amazing last week. He looked like the arch that everybody expected him to be this year.
Well, it's definitely night and day compared to him at Kentucky and even Ohio State and some of the other games that they played. So with Texas now having finally found their groove a little bit, do you feel a lot more confident with this schedule that you got to play here in the next 3 weeks, or where are you at on that one?
We're coming for them dogs next week.
Woo!
And dogs about to take a beat down next week. We coming for them, baby.
Now, Jeffrey, what do you think about that? Because, man, I mean, because this is still playoff indication for Texas for sure. But Georgia, their schedule, they've got Texas and they've got Georgia Tech. They can't have a letdown either because that would put them behind the committee's finger as well. So what do you think about that?
I hate to say that Georgia's going to they're going to eliminate them, and Texas will bounce back and upset undefeated A&M possibly. And I'm not saying that's, a consolation prize for missing the playoffs, but I mean, I think that's feasible. I don't know.
A non-SEC team could get in there at some point, though, still. I mean, with what just happened last week, with the ACC is now down to one team. The Big Ten's 3 teams. I mean, the ACC, there's no way they get in 2 teams now, so that opened up a spot. But, of course, they've got Notre Dame still wanting to be in there.
I mean, I think the only way the Big 12 kind of slips 2 in is that Texas Tech would have to beat BYU this weekend.
Yep, and BYU
but they do the rematch in the championship game.
And
then one's going to be eliminated. So I guess, no, you're right. You're right. The Big 12's down to 1. The ACC would need Georgia Tech to upset Georgia, definitely. And I'm not sure if they really need much of anything else, really, other than, it has to be the Virginia and Georgia Tech 2. I mean, because Louisville, they really haven't played any, big team, right? They're out-of-conference games against the Kentucky Wildcats. That's not enough.
Winner of the ACC gets in, that's it. Nobody else goes.
Yeah, it's going to depend. It will really depend on how good Georgia Tech does with Georgia. If they keep it close and somehow upset Georgia, or if they keep it close and lose and then win the conference championship against Virginia, then that would put a 2-loss Virginia. I think Virginia would be kicked out as well.
Virginia's not getting in. No.
Yeah, because you got, which if Texas wins out, they're in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, if they win out, they're in. If Oklahoma wins out, they're in. So really, those 2 teams predict their future by just winning football games because they got to go through Alabama.
So, no, here's what's crazy. If Texas beats Georgia and Texas A&M, Texas has the tiebreaker on A&M, right? So Texas only got 1 conference loss. Do they go to the SEC championship versus Alabama, or is it Ole Miss?
Alabama goes. Alabama's
in.
Alabama will be in, but there's a tie break with Texas and Ole Miss but last I'd seen, Texas had the tie break on that.
Ooh.
Just I think they go based on strength of schedule and then common opponents, which they don't have too many, and they're not going to have. Well, no, you know what though? Georgia beat Ole Miss, so that would be one of the common opponents. And if we were to beat Georgia. That would kind of give us, I think, the tiebreak over that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Common opponents in the SEC.
So I hate to see that happen. Y'all go 10-2, knock off these 2 big opponents, and then lose to Alabama in the SEC championship, and they hold y'all on the outside at 10-3. That would really not be good.
Let's just get there. We'll figure
let's
it
get
out.
there.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Because
one game at a time.
One game. Yep.
I'm a lot happier right now. So yeah.
Yeah,
Even though y'all 2 both picked against me whenever I left. I'm a little disappointed, guys.
Well, we've got to go by what we've seen on the field, and obviously, but now it makes it very interesting because that Georgia game now is not a definite, and that A&M game is not a definite, especially if they go and beat Georgia.
Yep, sure. So got a lot to look forward to the rest of the year.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cool. What time tonight are you guys going to be wrapping up over there?
So we'll be going till 8 o'clock. It goes from 5 to 8 tonight out here. So.
All right. And what do you got going this weekend at the Lone Star Bowl House?
Man, football watch party. We got live music tomorrow night. Just kind of a little bit low key on Friday night, but then Saturday we'll open up at 8:30 in the morning. Sunday we're actually opening up at 8:30 in the morning for the Colts and Falcons game too. So we got a long football weekend ahead of us. Big Alabama LSU watch party on the lawn Saturday night. So.
It's going to be popping. Do you got any food specials going on?
Man, all the same. We're doing a big seafood feast tomorrow night, actually, up there. So we're boiling lobster tails, king crab, we're getting prepped for crawfish season. So we're doing all the sides that we normally do with the crawfish boil, the boiled eggs, the mushrooms, the Kaneka sausage, all that kind of stuff going in too tomorrow. So
I have one question, Brian. Are you in control of the remote control, or you pretty much let the people who come into your restaurant decide what's going to be on that big screen TV?
No, it's preset. I put out the schedule yesterday. So the schedule gets put out, and I just got too many. I need to separate. Like, even on Saturday night, we got Florida State Clemson going the same time as Alabama LSU. So I put it out there so Alabama LSU fans, you need to go sit outside. Florida State fans go sit inside the main bar, and you'll have the main TV in there with that. But I mean, we don't change it except for NFL Sundays. It can change here and there because they're just not giant games. It's not as big. But college is preset.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, there's a certain radio host that might be coming to your place tomorrow night, so make sure you have lobster tails and king crab all ready to go for him. I'm not naming him, but he might be.
Sounds good, guys.
All right, man.
Have a good rest of the show. I'll see y'all next week and hopefully tomorrow night.
All right, my friend. Have a good night over there. We'll see you later.
Come on.
Yes, sir. Jeff, when you look at that game, though, I know we're moving ahead, but when you look at Texas and Georgia, it's that's going to be interesting. It really is. It's not just something, with two juggernauts. I mean, with Texas maybe finding their groove now, and Georgia still kind of trying to find their identity. I don't know. You can't go by who you can't go by. Played this team bad, played this team good, and then when they play each other, it don't always line up that way.
It could be a round robin.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. It could very well be.
But the problem, and I hate. Look, I don't like the Longhorns.
I know, but you're a lot nicer when he's on the phone or when he's sitting here. You kind of
nicer when
with about either when he's sitting here or when he's on the phone. When he's here,
I behave myself.
Nice. Yeah, you're kind of.
I'm not spewing, like complete hate, but I'm telling you right now, for the sake of the SEC, and not having teams own other teams,
right?
Georgia beat Texas twice last year.
Yeah,
it's healthy for the SEC to have some type of where teams can win one and the other one wins back. It goes kind of back and forth. Actually, believe it or not, LSU Florida is the most back and forth rivalry in the SEC.
Yeah,
they're dead even.
It's not
they keep on like 49, 49 and 1, 50 and 50 and 1. They're always like tied for their series, which Alabama, Auburn, you know how it is.
Yeah,
y'all. I don't say y'all own them, but y'all are like 20 something games up on them or 30 games.
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's not going to be made up.
No,
so
it'll take a long time to do that. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about today, but I did want to throw out some things, some news that's hit, and I kind of want to get what you think about it. So it has been confirmed, a big time, that no way Coach Saban is going to be going and taking the LSU job.
Tell me something I don't know.
I know, but I just wanted to make sure.
That was a fantasy.
I know.
Those boys been drinking down the bayou, bringing up his name. Come on.
Yeah. Shaq tried to add to the pot by saying he had heard through the grapevine that was possibly going to happen, but obviously
he's drinking that scissor.
Okay, so a quick story, really cool story if you like this kind of stuff. Compton College has a father and son duo playing football together.
Wow.
Lamar Willis already played college football years ago, but the new JUCO rules granted him more eligibility. So number 19 is Lamar Willis, and his son is number 20, Josiah Willis.
Are they both running backs?
I'm not sure what position they're playing, but either way, they're father and son playing together.
Could you imagine if they're in the same backfield as like a halfback and a running back at the same time? I mean, that'd just be crazy.
Yeah. Could you imagine if the son misses the block and the dad he gets all
back
over
in the huddle?
Yeah.
Yelling.
You got to make that block, son.
Make that block, boy.
But so anyway, also just wanted to read this too because of all the stuff that's been going on. Now, this is kind of interesting. According to ESPN Sports, prior to the start of the season, the NBA requested that betting partners FanDuel and DraftKings remove wager options that were susceptible to manipulation, specifically missed free throws, turnovers, and fouls. So there, because you can vote on.
Wait, miss
bet
free throws, fouls, and what was that?
turnovers. So you can actually, do that. You can manipulate that. I mean, if I want to have a turnover, I could, make a pass and turn the ball over, and it'd be the first one of the game. And if you betted that Paul was going to have the first turnover of the game, and you put $1,000 on it, and it could turn you into about $5.
That's a great thing, and I don't know. I don't think I said it on the air, but I said that the NBA is the most fixable game.
Yeah.
As far as like the three major sports go. I'm not going to talk about horse racing or anything like that, right?
Or boxing or anything like that.
Yeah, that's another one, yeah.
Yeah. But so real quick, another breaking story was Game 7 of this year's World Series was the most watched Major League game globally in 34 years. 34 years. Now, why do you think that was?
Is that the Twins Braves?
Not really sure, but why?
Because that was 91.
Because it
91.
was United States, Canada, and Japan were the biggest watchers of the World Series, obviously being Toronto.
So they're saying worldwide or United States?
Globally.
Globally. Okay,
Yeah,
I
so
believe the
all the way.
globally thing. I believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more people living in the world today. Asia's more into baseball. Not just Central America, but the Caribbean islands are more into baseball also.
Yeah. That's true.
I mean,
yeah.
And I'm not saying
Dominican, all those.
This sport is growing because of overseas.
Yeah, it is. And I believe there are the levels of travel baseball that has really kicked up with Perfect Game and all these other organizations, USSSA and all those guys. Another breaking story that just broke before we come on the air. Former NFL star wide receiver Antonio Brown has been extradited to New Jersey by the U.S. Marshals. He's finally caught. 37 years old, was wanted for attempted murder charge in Miami, Florida, following an incident at a boxing event on May the 16th. So they just got Brown. Outside of him being crazy and doing all the stuff that he's done, that dude was an actual beast on the field. I mean, he was a great wide receiver.
He was.
Those Pittsburgh Steelers years with Ben Roethlisberger, he was awesome. I mean, he'd get open.
There were times where he was better than Fitzgerald and Calvin Johnson.
But he
didn't have the longevity.
Yeah, but he was different than those two as well. He could stretch the field.
Oh, yeah.
Fitzgerald was more of a slot guy, was more of a, 10, 15-yarder. Calvin Johnson would go get a big one, but he was 6'5", 6'6", so, I mean, but Brown, he's just
He was better than Des Bryant, but not as good as T.O. T.O. was a beast.
Yeah, well, he's a lot bigger, too. But I'm just saying a smaller guy. He reminded me a lot of Steve Largent because he would stretch the field. They would throw bombs to him. Mm-hmm. He didn't really run the slant routes or anything like that.
Yeah, but he was...
Yeah.
The brain he's a little off.
A little cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, some cooking. Yeah. Or the lights were on, but nobody was home. One of the two. Last story before we take our break. Former Northwestern head coach Pat Fitzgerald reportedly feels 100% vindicated following the settlement reached in his wrongful termination case against the University of Northwestern. Fitzgerald was dismissed by Northwestern following accusations that he turned a blind eye to hazing practices within the football program under his watch. Now, see, for me, I've been waiting for that to come out because I've wondered whether or not another school like Wisconsin, somebody like that, a Big Ten program was going to grab him back up because he's still available. Because, yeah, he didn't ever do great at Northwestern in the Big Ten, but he definitely could win football games.
He took him to a Big Ten championship.
There you go.
Once.
Yeah. So there you go. And I mean,
and you said the name, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That would be like, I don't want to say a perfect fit, but it'd be one of the fits for him.
Yeah. So I mean, you know,
and what would be interesting is if one team maybe like lost their coach, like Jeff Brom left Louisville, which I don't think is happening.
Good.
But, you know, if he left for something else, then, you know, Fitzgerald could land at a place like that.
Maybe. You don't think Brom can go? I think Brom can go.
No, I think he's too cemented in being a Louisville guy.
I don't know, man. Money talks, my friend. Money talks.
Not everybody's, what do you call it? Sucked in by it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
by
see.
the monetary thing.
We'll find out very soon. So either way, but we've got exciting news for when we come back. We've got a high school coach on the line. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. Your home for the NFL. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Coming up on Thursday Night Football, the 7-2 Denver Broncos look to run roughshod over the 2-6 Las Vegas Raiders.
Nix pumps, throws, got a man. It's Sutton. It's a touchdown.
Coverage from Empower Field at Mile High starts at 6:30. Kickoff 7:15. Thursday Night Football on your spot for the NFL on the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday afternoon. The remainder of the day, mostly clear skies and 77 with a gentle breeze coming out of the south around 8 miles per hour. For tonight, slight fog and mostly clear skies and a low near 63. Tomorrow, slightly foggy in the morning followed by some sun and a high around 77. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Looking for dependable civil construction in the Florida Panhandle? CBC Construction has you covered. From land clearing and drainage to roads and underground utilities, CBC delivers high-quality work on time and on budget. Locally owned and operated, CBC is trusted by schools, developers, and municipalities. To learn more, call CBC Construction 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com. That's cbcconstruction.com.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7Ts. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7ts.com.
College Football Saturday on ESPN Radio.
Leaping, grabbing the two, and into the end zone. Indiana, touchdown.
Undefeated and ranked number 2 in the nation. The Indiana Hoosiers head to Penn State to face the Nittany Lions.
If you want a team that I might least like to play, Indiana would certainly be at the top of the list.
Second-ranked Indiana at Penn State.
Coverage starts Saturday morning at 10:30 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios. This is the Sports Blitz. We don't just talk sports. We start fires. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 70s phone line, 850-215-6290. We're live and local here in the CBC Construction Studios. We are honored, and when I say honored, I mean honored and excited to be able to bring on our next guest. He is the coach of the new playoff-bound Arnold High School football team, Coach Jason Griffin. Coach, how are you doing today, my friend?
Hey, doing pretty good. I'm doing something I wasn't sure I was going to be doing today. We're on the practice field today.
Well, thank you so much, Coach, for taking up the time with us to meet with us. Man, you said it. Last week, you said it with all the doubters doubting, with all of the comments made, the Arnold football Marlins are going to the playoffs. Coach, how does it feel? How does it feel for these boys, especially with what you guys went through this year?
I'll tell you, with all our program's been through, and everybody, the kids in my family, it's a great way to finish this thing up. I'll tell you, the best thing was just watching those kids when they announced it today, the excitement of our kids and how pumped up they were about the opportunity to get to go back and play in the postseason again. I'll tell you, it's a really good day for us. We hadn't had a lot of those. It's been a tough grind, but I think that tough schedule we played. We look at it. 5 of the teams we played, 4 of them were in the top 10 in their class, and one of them's in the top. The other one's in the top 15. So we played some good football teams. We certainly got to play a pretty good one next week, but it's going to be great for our kids to be able to take a trip and have some playoff football to finish this thing out.
Yeah, that's what's exciting about it, and again, don't want to harp on the bad, but man, just the resilience of this football team, knowing that their backs was against the wall on the last week of the season, obviously hoping for Tate, being big fans of Tate, and it happening, and then today seeing that. Coach, when you saw your name come across the bracket, I mean, what was I know there had to be a bunch of emotion.
Yeah, there was. I've been fortunate. I've made the playoffs every year. I've been a head coach, and you kind of wrap your mind around. That's something that's you don't know how long that's a streak that at some point it's just reality. So you're sitting there and you're thinking about all the things that went on. You're thinking about the guys, and thinking about when our name doesn't come across the screen, I've got to walk out there and look at these guys, and what am I going to say to them, and how are we going to end this thing up, and then to see Arnold pop up there in that bracket, I'll tell you, man, and to hear those guys yelling and screaming, I'll tell you, it was a pretty cool thing, man, and it definitely didn't have to go in there and tell them, didn't have to give them any kind of talk other than, hey, get your gear. Let's go to ready practice.
That's right.
So have you actually seen a bracket? You know who you're playing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're playing St. Augustine.
Okay, St. Augustine. And you have to travel all the way over there. It's a little over 5 hours, right?
Yeah, we're probably going to go over on a Thursday and, give these guys a great experience. We'll go over on Thursday, find a place to do our walkthrough on the way, put them in a hotel Thursday night, get ourselves ready to play a football game Friday night. I want to give these guys the best experience that I can, all things considered, and hey, it's a great football team we're playing, but hey, that's why they play them. We give ourselves an opportunity. They're going to have to beat us. So, that's going to be it's just going to be a fun trip. I've done it quite a few times now in my career. So, we know how to do the playoffs right. So we're going to try to do that next week.
So that's why you play the game, is because
that's it.
If people say, this team's going to beat you, and guess what? Some people are proven wrong. So you're all playing on the 14th, which is a Friday, correct?
That's correct. Yep. Over at St. Augustine.
It's a 6:30 kickoff. What time?
It's probably usually 6:30, I think, but it could be 6 or 6:30. I'm not sure. Hopefully, with it being this late in the year, we can agree on a 7:00 Eastern time. Start at 6 our time. That way, our guys can get back at a reasonable time.
And you're learning what kind of offense they run?
Well, we'll be changing film today, and everybody across the state just found out. So everybody, I imagine, will be exchanging film today. So tomorrow we'll be looking at the film. Right now, we're just out here working on us, getting our guys back out, getting their minds wrapped around football again, and working on our stuff. And then, when we start watching St. Augustine, we'll meet on Sunday again. And Monday, we'll show up and game plan. It'll be a regular game week for us.
How many fans do you expect to make the trip over there?
Well, I don't know. It's a long way. And, I hope these kids' parents, I hope a lot of folks go. These guys have been through a lot this year, Arnold football. And these players, particularly the seniors, they've had some things thrown at them that they really shouldn't have been thrown at them, and I hope that they have some support on the way out of here to kind of give these guys some support as we go over there.
I don't know if you know this, but the 15th, the day after, they're lighting all the lights in St. Augustine, and I've heard it's a beautiful sight.
Oh no, I had no idea. So we have talked to the Booster Club, and it's going to be a long ride back, but we'll see about the day after. We got to figure out, put some numbers together. It's going to be a pretty expensive trip for us, but like I said before, with all our football teams been through, no matter what it costs, it's going to be worth every penny for these guys.
Yeah, and Coach, we appreciate you coming on. We won't hold you much longer, but I just wanted to, just say that, we're proud of you guys. We're proud of everything that you guys have pushed through this year, and it's 0-0 when you go into the playoffs, and you know what I mean. Go give them your best shot, and I'm sure we'll check in with you next week, and definitely after that, just to see how it goes. And is there anything else you want to say to the fans, to the listeners, and maybe to the parents or even business owners that maybe can help your guys get over there and have some fun in St. Augustine?
Yeah, one, I appreciate all the support. I don't think there's just been any time that I felt that a lot of folks weren't behind me through the whole thing. I think our football team's been supported through this whole thing. And now, like I said, man, these kids deserve a great experience, and it's going to be pretty expensive, I would imagine. So it'd be nice if anybody wanted to jump on board and help us send these guys off right with all that they've been through.
That's right. Well, Coach, we appreciate you taking time. Get back on the field and get those guys back in tip-top shape, ready to go, and bring home that victory for the Marlin football team and family.
Yeah, we're going to take a good shot at it, I'll tell you that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it. That's the big thing. Like, when you get to playoff football, and it's like this, it's easy to look at a record and say, oh, well, but there's a lot that goes into all that. It depends on who you play, because in the state of Florida, you could play some of the top, like he said, some of the top, because they don't stick you with just your division. Like, you play different A all the way through. I was looking over the brackets. I was looking at some different teams, and there's some 9-1 teams, and one of the 9-1 teams that is in the playoff, obviously, they played against IMG Academy.
Oh,
now they beat everybody on their schedule but IMG Academy, and when they beat them, I'm telling you, they beat them. They were scoring 50 points, 30 points, 40 points, 60 points, even 70 points, this one team. But they lost to IMG 54-7. You see what I'm saying? So it's just, it really doesn't matter. Everybody's 0-0 when you go into the playoffs. Obviously, when you play football now, you've got to have either a bunch of college players that, maybe not be Division I guys, but just players that can go play JUCO or maybe go play D2, but even D2 is really good now. But you're going to play against Division I athletes pretty much week in, week out for the most part, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So Arnold's got a tall task in front of them to go and play at St. Augustine. St. Augustine's 9-1. And like I said, they've looked good all year. So hopefully they'll be able to pull it out.
So nationally, they have a top 25 ranking.
Yeah.
I looked at two of them, and IMG was number 1 in one and number 2 in the other. And there were 3 Florida teams in the top 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, and only 2 states had more.
Texas and California.
California had the most, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Georgia was up in there. There was a team from South Carolina, and there was a team from Tennessee. That's what it was. Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, when you look at it nowadays, which is, back when I was in high school, you would have 1 or 2 or 5 in, which Mobile was a talented area it still is for football.
Yeah.
And you would have 1 or 2 teams that would have 1, not usually 2, but then you always had like the juniors that were getting looked at, the sophomores, and then they might have like a stud freshman that was getting looks early. But now it's totally different. You've got Division I athletes everywhere out there. So I mean, pretty good though for them to make it 3-7. It's that's the craziest thing I've ever heard of, because I've never they went 0-3 in their district.
Yeah.
And did not win a game in their district and still made it because of strength of schedule. And there's all of these parameters that make it up that I have no idea about.
So a lot of the talk has been about Mosley in this area, but Bay is the one that exceeded expectations.
Yeah, Bay and
North Bay Haven, of course.
Right. North Bay Haven and everybody really, except for Arnold, had a great year. Bozeman,
Rutherford, I think. Well, yeah, Rutherford had a better year than Arnold too.
Yeah. So, but that's what I'm saying. But Arnold beat Rutherford in the last game of the season to clinch their playoffs. Yeah. So, which is crazy. Now we do have Coach Jeremy Brown, coming on after our next break. But so we're going to get to talk about Bay. But it's just crazy, having our show, being able to talk about the high school football schedule and just how it's been this year. And it's getting really exciting to know what's going on. And when you look at what we have here as far as talent, it's the best in this area. But when you start playing teams out of Miami and you're going to have to play your best games to win in the playoffs. It's not going to be an easy cake for these guys, no matter how their season has went thus far. But it does count to match up better with some teams than others. So I mean that's a crucial thing. So, but either way, I want to talk about something that before we go on the break, it's going to be off the scope of high school football. I want to talk about some college football. So when you looked at it, you said that Notre Dame obviously was in there, and out of the BYU, you already said BYU and Texas Tech, that you're going with Texas Tech, that you think that they're going to lose. Now, so let me ask you this:
they're going to win. Texas Tech is going to win.
Yeah, you said that, and then I said BYU.
Yeah.
But so earlier you made a mention that whoever is the winner of the conference is the one that's going to make it, unless they beat them twice. Right?
No.
They'll have to beat them twice because they're going to play in the conference championship.
No. Okay. So Texas Tech has a conference loss right now. Okay. BYU's undefeated. Okay. They could match up again in the conference championship if Texas Tech wins this game. If Texas Tech loses this game, they're not going to make it to the conference championship. It's going to be an undefeated BYU and whoever.
Okay,
in the Big 12.
But I'm saying that, which is the point that I was saying, is that if Texas Tech beats BYU, like you said, and they go to the conference championship, they would have to beat BYU twice to make it to the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Because that's going to knock them out. BYU's only shot, realistically,
is a split
win.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've got to win in the conference championship for sure. If not, because they're not going to make it. So that's what I was trying to get at.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and you're saying that Memphis is probably going to be the team that gets in.
That's totally a guess. I mean, because before the season started, I was looking at James Madison thinking that's the best shot from the outside.
And they still have a chance, but it's not a great chance.
They have 2 losses, man. I don't think they're going to be ranked.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
And I mean, I don't even know who they played. Did they play North Carolina Tar Heels? I can't remember who they played out of conference, but it wasn't like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, Old Dominion beat Virginia Tech, and you were like, wow, But I don't know. I don't see James Madison being ranked with 2 losses this year.
Yeah.
And then who else you have? Navy has 1 loss right now. And if they upset Notre Dame, they're in the conversation.
They're an opportunity,
South Florida with 2 losses again.
I still think it's North Texas. I still think North Texas
have 1 loss.
Has that opportunity. If they can win out.
Whoever has 1 loss has a really good chance of being ranked at the end of the year and getting that automatic bid. But I see South Florida as being out. But, I mean, they just would not only have to run the table, they would have to crush their opponents.
Do you love that, though? Because realistically, do you think a North Texas, a Memphis, a JMU, all of these guys that we're naming right now, do you think realistically they could beat Tennessee? Do you think they could beat Oklahoma? Do you think they could beat Texas? Do you think it's really the best football teams in the country, or do you think it's just another way of getting a team in that probably don't deserve it because of their conference and leaving a team out that possibly maybe couldn't win it, but definitely could maybe win a couple of games in the playoff?
So I don't know if it's a 1 in 20 shot or a 1 in 30 shot, but that's about the ballpark we're looking at. And it creates excitement, especially for the schools that aren't in the Power 4, right? Correct. Yeah. And I think it's sort of like makes a surreal moment, like when Appalachian State beat Michigan.
Yeah.
We still talk about that. That was 2007. That was
it's been a long
18
time
years ago, and we're still talking about it.
Yeah.
We're still talking about Boise State being Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl, you know?
That's true.
And these are the moments, sounds sentimental, that we remember, and it's so great. It makes the sport better. And to me, if you had an 18 playoff, no, leave them out. You have 12 teams, go ahead and invite them. Really? I think there's enough invites around that you can have them go in.
So the thing is that when they do travel baseball, what they'll do is they'll have, a 10 or 12 team tournament. And what happens is they eventually figure out who the best teams are. And then what they do is they have their own bracket, and then they make another bracket, basically a silver bracket, gold bracket, silver bracket.
Yeah.
I would much rather see something like that personally for me, just because I don't really care about these but what we get is we get a Boise State team that happened to be this year. We're talking so many years ago that they upset Oklahoma. We're talking last year where they, got trounced in their playoff game, right?
I don't think they were trounced.
But, they got beat.
They got beat.
Pretty convincingly.
They got beat, yeah.
And everybody and their mother knew that Boise State wasn't going to win. I just don't love putting people in there that we know is not going to win, and we just put them in there because we're required to.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you.
They should pick the 12 best teams and
I'm going to jog your memory. Who was number 12 last year?
I don't know.
Arizona State. Boise was 4.
Yeah,
because of the bye system that they had working.
Yeah.
Arizona State. Oh, what did they do in the first round of the playoffs?
They won a game.
No, they lost in double overtime.
Yeah, to Texas.
Double overtime.
Yeah.
Hello. That's your proof right there. In the very first year, they gave you proof that a team outside of the top 12 who had an automatic bid was worthy.
Was worthy to lose.
In double overtime.
Still lost.
It's
Just
still
saying.
exciting. Still exciting.
Okay, are we trying to make excitement, or are we trying to see who the champion is, the real champion? Because my Alabama Crimson Tide probably could have beat Arizona State, but we're moving to our next break. Either way, when we come back, we're going to be talking with Coach Jeremy Brown from Bay High. You're listening to the Sports Blitz, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Or text in now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for the NFL.
Touchdown, Denver!
We bring you the biggest games every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night.
Oh, he's got the first down!
Plus, we'll broadcast more college football games than ever before.
He did what?
Live NFL and college football play here.
Unbelievable!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Touchdown!
You overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. You see that new welcome offer? Bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. I think we got to jump on this.
What's John Daly think?
I think you got to grip it and rip it.
Grip it?
And rip it.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets. Not a cash offer. Offered by Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
For exciting college football, the best boiled seafood, and the most game day fun, it's Lone Star Boil House. Watch the games on their huge Jumbotron. Challenge your friends to beer pong, cornhole, and oversized Connect 4 in their new adult lounge. Lone Star Boil House is where the locals go for incredible wings, the best boiled seafood, and a new breakfast menu. Saturday and Sunday starting at 9. Crush the follow on Facebook to catch huge game day specials. Lone Star Boil House, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
College Football Saturday on ESPN Radio.
Leaping, grabbing the 2, and into the end zone. Indiana, touchdown.
Undefeated and ranked number 2 in the nation. The Indiana Hoosiers head to Penn State to face the Nittany Lions.
And you want a team that I might least like to play? Indiana would certainly be at the top of the list.
Second-ranked Indiana at Penn State.
Coverage starts Saturday morning at 10:30 on 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. Can you take the hits? Here comes the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We are live and local here in the CBC Construction Studio. We're pumped up, we're primed up and ready to go. We are the home for college football this weekend. We've got LSU and Alabama at 6:30, Syracuse and Miami at 2:30, and Indiana and Penn State at 11. Don't forget to check it out right there. We are honored today to have Bay High School Tornado head coach, Coach Jeremy Brown, on the line. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic. Now, Coach, we knew this was coming. We knew everything was going to be. And now today it's finally happening. The bracket has been released. You guys will be playing against Godby. I think you told us that was your expectation. And so what is the message to the team going forward now?
Yeah, you know, we had an idea. We thought it might be Godby, but we knew there was such a small margin of point, separation from Godby and Bishop and Baker County. And then even with us, we were, over the last couple of days, man, I was a little bit nervous that we may drop to the 3, especially when the 2A brackets came out and I saw the shift with Pensacola Catholic and South Walton. I thought for sure we may wind up being the 3 seed. So when that came out and we got that 2 seed, man, I was excited and relieved all at the same time.
That's right. So with that, keeping the 2, if you win against Godby, there's another chance to host another game. Is that correct, if I've read it right?
Yeah, if we win against Godby, we'll definitely, no matter what happens on the other side, we'll host. But we've got our work cut out for us against Godby. They, people look at their record and see 4-6, but we know all the, we know they played Niceville and Wakulla and Baker County, and all the teams, just about all the teams they played are in the playoffs. I mean they played an unbelievable schedule. They beat Lincoln 2 weeks ago. They played Dothan, and Dothan wound up going 5-5, and they might be in the toughest region in the state of Alabama. I mean,
yeah.
and and Godby scored a bunch of points against them. So we've really got our work cut out for us. I mean, they're really good at quarterback. They're really good at receiver. I mean, the Jay Sims kid out at receiver, he's as good as there is in the state, maybe the country. You know what I mean? I mean, they got athletes. I was telling the guy at the News Herald, man, it's kind of a lot of similarities. Like our teams are very similar. We're athletic. We've got some athletic guys at wide receiver. We both got a quarterback that can throw it and run it. You know what I mean? Defensively, we both got a couple of guys that can come off the edge. So it's going to be a very similar team. So I think the teams that can go out there and take care of the football, you know what I mean, not turn the ball over, not give up big plays, and be solid in special teams, probably have the best chance to win it.
Yeah, and that's the keys, being 0-0 going into the playoffs now. So with all of those things that you've said, with all the things that you've done, and your familiarity with this team, are we going to see a lot of the same from you? And I'm not trying to open it up, and I doubt they're listening, but are you, have you been holding some of your stuff because you knew that, we've got the playoffs to work on and you're going to unveil some new stuff come when the next game?
Yeah, I mean, I think every team this point of the year is, you know who you are, you know what you do well, you know what you don't do well. For us, it's more of a week-to-week kind of, if we see some things on film that we think we can exploit that we don't have in, then we can add in, wrinkles and, things like that, you know what I mean, defensively, you know what I mean, just, you kind of know who you're on defense, and then based off of their formations and what they like to do, and, what we do different against a running quarterback and a throwing quarterback. I mean, all those things are, just kind of week-to-week kind of things. I mean, I'll be honest, we don't have like a whole secret, like, playoff playbook or anything like that. We'll get some, hopefully we'll start getting some film in today and be able to meet as a staff this weekend and kind of get an idea of what they want to do on offense and defense, how they line up, and then figure out offensively how we can move the ball against them, and then defensively how we can keep them in front of us and not give up big plays.
Yeah, and as well as I do, you've been doing this a long time. It's hat on a hat, and it's good against good when you get in these type of play and when you got teams that are similar. So when you push this to your team and you tell them, what we're going to do, how does having these extra days, because I know you said you're probably going to get some film, how does these extra days help you prepare? Because obviously you'll probably start Monday like you normally do on a Monday for preparation. Will these extra days help you a little bit more where you can really get into the film room and study?
Yeah, I think, what we did this week is, we were able to take, kind of take, the weekend and break down we broke down our last 5 films, and then we went out Monday and Tuesday and tried to kind of almost like we self-scouted, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And went out and kind of tried to improve on some things we hadn't been, that we've been lacking in those areas, offense, defense, tackling, screen game, hats on hats, just stuff that we haven't, during season you can't spend a ton of time on it. And so we were able to kind of go back this week and kind of, with the offensive linemen especially, just going back over their tracks. And, one thing about football, man, is every team's they're going to run an odd front or an even front. I mean, there's no secret about that.
Yeah.
And so just talking to our guys, kind of revisiting their tracks and, and that kind of stuff. And then, shoring up the special teams and really just taking this week to kind of get healthy, you know what I mean? Kind of, the bumps and bruises of this time of the year, and just trying to keep this, today when the brackets came out, you could see the excitement in the kids. And so we're gonna actually practice. We gave them the day off. We're gonna practice tomorrow. Get out there and go ahead and hopefully we start getting some film in, and we can go ahead and almost treat tomorrow like a Monday. We can go ahead and get our install stuff in, and then maybe next week have an extra day of seeing it all live.
Yeah.
And that's kind of our game plan right now.
That sounds good. That sounds like winning football to me. Now, I know that you guys are trying to raise some money to make sure that this run is, that part's covered instead of worrying about all of that, plus trying to win football games. So how can the listeners, if they want to help your team out, what can they do, and who do they get in touch with if they want to donate, maybe a business that's listening that they can donate to your team's playoff run?
Yeah, man, that would be awesome. I really appreciate you asking that. If they go on any of our social media pages, Facebook, Bay High Quarterback Club, they can make checks out to the Bay High Quarterback Club. We're actually going to be out at Beef O'Brady's Saturday. During the day, we're going to have a table set up there for donations. We're actually running that through Delayed Not Denied, which is a nonprofit here in town that reached out and wanted to kind of help us, raise some money, and we're going to give them, they're going to get a percentage of it, and so kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Delayed Not Denied is kind of a program that supports special needs children, and kind of partnering up with Ms. Davinia Murphy on that, and so we're excited about that. And then just reaching out. They can reach out to me on Facebook, my school email. They can call to the school. They'll put them in touch with me. But if they want to donate some money, I can promise you we can lead them in the right direction and tell them how they can do it.
That's exactly right.
Is that the Beef O'Brady's on 77 up towards Lynn Haven?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what time is that on Saturday?
I think we're going to be out there I think we're going out there in the morning from like 10 to like 4.
Awesome. That sounds really good. And so, just so all the listeners know as well, when is the game, what time, and where at?
It'll be at Tommy Oliver Stadium here in Panama City. It'll be next Friday night. I believe that's the 14th. It'll be at 7:00.
Okay. Are we wearing? Are you wanting them to wear any specific color or anything like that?
Yeah, we're actually our band got together with the Pep Club, and they've got a bunch of white shirts, and we're gonna almost like the Penn State, like when they do their white out at night. They're gonna white out the stands, and we're gonna wear our black uniforms.
Oh man,
so it's nice. There's a nice contrast, kind of like Penn State does. So we're pretty excited about that, man. I'm hoping we can. I'm really hoping that the whole city will get out Thursday night and support Mosley as they play Lincoln, and hoping those guys get a win, and then being able to have the city will come out on Friday and support our guys. And that's kind of what I think that's as coaches. I think that's what we're kind of all hoping for.
Yeah. Is Mosley all in the same playoffs as y'all are? No, different level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a different. Yeah, they're a different classification. They're 5A and we're 3A. They're going to play on. They'll play Lincoln on Thursday, and so hopefully the city will get out and support them, and then hopefully on Friday they'll come back down and support us. They get 2 really good nights of high school football.
Who's the 3 seed? Do you know who in your bracket?
Bishop Kenny.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Bishop Kenny.
Well, and you touched on it. That's exactly right. Bay County sticking together. We're pulling for all the teams, and that'd be a great way to support the kids, the community, and everybody sticking together and hoping that we pull off a bunch of wins for this playoff season. So, Coach, I know you've got to go. You got a lot of game film to watch, and don't call Jeffrey to come watch game film with you. He's an LSU fan. We don't need any of that negativity. But either way, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time out and letting us get your first reaction about all this. We appreciate it, and we'll be on the sideline pushing and cheering you guys on Friday night. So, Coach, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on with us.
Absolutely, guys. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great weekend.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you. And, Jeffrey, when you look at how
I want to go look at game film. I want to be like Leonardo DiCaprio. That right there.
When you look at it, though, it is important as a community to support your football teams.
Yeah, they're 5A, they're 3A. This is not a competition.
No.
I mean, because you have rivals. You know how it is.
Yeah, you're going to have rivals. But when it's all said and done, we're all the same community.
Yeah.
Let's go support. Obviously, Arnold's playing in St. Augustine. Bozeman, they're going to be playing, I think, in Tallahassee or Pensacola. Wow. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And then we got both Bay and Mosley here.
So, that travel to Tallahassee or Pensacola, that's only 2 hours flat.
Yeah.
St. Augustine,
that's a little haul.
That's a little haul.
Yeah. So, but that's what we do. We come together as a community, and we support these kids that have been playing all year. And you know how it is, even in the pros, even in college, but even in high school, the nicks, the bruises, the long practices, because they practice 5 days a week and watch film on Sunday. You know what I mean?
And you hope that these kids are healthy and that nobody gets injured. You know?
And that's what you hope. But having this time off, being able to come back and be ready to go. So it's pretty exciting and pretty fun to be able to watch it. So we're going to be there. We're going to be pumped up, ready to go. So either way, we're going to take our next break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit more of college football. And then we've got Mosley on the phone as well. You're listening to the Sports Blitz. Paul Wilson, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 7T Studio Line. ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
Here we go. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson will be awarding the Sports Blitz High School Player of the Week. This will go to the outstanding high school football player for each week. The player will receive a gift card from a local restaurant and an ESPN Northwest Florida t-shirt. Coaches, Students, parents, and fans, comment on our Facebook page or call in at 850-215-6290 to nominate.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday afternoon. The remainder of the day, mostly clear skies and 77 with a gentle breeze coming out of the south around 8 miles per hour. For tonight, slight fog and mostly clear skies and a low near 63. Tomorrow, slightly foggy in the morning followed by some sun and a high around 77. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Looking for dependable civil construction in the Florida Panhandle? CBC Construction has you covered. From land clearing and drainage to roads and underground utilities, CBC delivers high-quality work on time and on budget. Locally owned and operated, CBC is trusted by schools, developers, and municipalities. To learn more, call CBC Construction 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com. That's cbcconstruction.com.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
WVLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
For college football. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This Saturday night, your 5-3 LSU Tigers are looking for a big upset in Tuscaloosa when they play the 7-1 and number 4 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide.
75 yards. Wow.
We'll have coverage from Bryant-Denny Stadium starting at 6, kickoff at 6:30 on your spot for the LSU Tigers on the Gulf Coast, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Broadcasting from the CBC Construction Studios. Marquee matchups, huge rivalries, and fan favorites. The college football headquarters on the Gulf Coast is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
On this Thursday, we made it. We've got one more day into the weekend, baby, and we are pumped up and excited about it. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 7 Tees phone line, 850-215-6290. Don't forget, tonight we've got Vegas at Denver. Coverage starts at 6:30. Kickoff is at 7:15 right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We do have a docket of games on Saturday. You got Indiana at Penn State at 11, Syracuse and Miami at 2:30, and then the nightcap, baby, LSU at Alabama in Tuscaloosa, 6:30 p.m. right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Now, Jeffrey, I know that you've already thrown in the towel. I know you've already given up. I know that you think LSU is just going to play flat against Alabama or not show up or play the JV team or I know that when we talked about it, when we were making the schedule for the show, you didn't really want to talk about this Alabama LSU game because you think Alabama's just going to win. But I think it's going to be closer than you think because if you look at LSU, they're going to play just like Florida did against Georgia. They're going to come out with new stuff. They're going to do stuff differently. They're going to play differently, and you know that they're going to bring a package because the coach has already said for Van Buren. We're going to see Van Buren on Saturday. And
love it.
And I don't, because Alabama does not play good against running quarterbacks. They've never done it. I don't know if there's just something about a running quarterback, but we just can't play good against a running quarterback. That goes all the way back to Tim Tebow, Johnny Manziel, all of those guys. So I don't want to see Van Buren on the field very much, but I know you do. Why?
Well, I've already seen Nussmeier, and he's only going to score 25 points. 25 points, man. It's the most we've scored other than that one game against Southeast Louisiana. I mean, come on. Southeastern.
But do you think it's Brian Kelly's fault? Will you have everybody, if it's a close game at the half, like it was with Florida and Georgia, do you think everybody's going to be on social media talking about Brian Kelly was the reason why we were losing? Brian Kelly, it's Brian Kelly's fault. It's Brian Kelly's fault.
No, we've already moved on. We've already laid the blame. When you're the boss, you do take responsibility for the things that are results. You know, it's every job like when you're like that. I mean, when I was a restaurant manager, you know, people not coming in to eat, you know, is it the food or is it the service or what? You know, you have to figure it out and you have to make it better. Yeah. And that's what a coach does.
That's right.
He's in the end job, he's responsible. And that's the reason why people have gotten rid of.
And Frank Wilson, he's a good guy. I've heard he's very knowledgeable. Been on some really good staffs and all of that. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping Alabama wins.
Some of these guys want to get drafted, and they're going to be out there playing their hearts out, you know.
Of course. And, I mean, that's part of it. Now, let's move over to another team that we haven't had a chance to talk about much this week, but the Miami Hurricanes. It's been tough. We picked them early in the year. At least I picked them early in the year. You did as well, as one of the teams that was going to compete for the ACC championship.
Yeah.
And I know that it's just not going well. It's the same thing as last year. And I just don't understand it. I mean, is it some kind of something that Cristobal is doing where when he brings another quarterback in, they're just going to be guaranteed to flop at the end of the season?
No, I don't know. It's happened so many times. It's almost like the more and more it happens, the more and more you believe that it's like not a conspiracy, but like it's a pattern, you know, and they get let down. And I feel a little bit for the Hurricane fans, and we kind of knew who they were at the beginning because of Carson Beck.
Yeah.
And Ward was gone, right? So I don't know. I just kind of they were in my realm of possibilities in the ACC, but we did not see Virginia and we did not see Georgia Tech before the season started doing what they're doing.
I saw Georgia Tech because I picked them. I picked Miami and Georgia Tech to play.
Picked Clemson and Louisville. Everybody picked Clemson.
Or did you pick?
You didn't pick Miami.
Yeah, I picked Miami. I thought I picked Miami and Georgia Tech.
I thought you picked Clemson.
I don't think because remember I went on the rant about how Cade Klubnik wasn't that good, but Carson Beck was going to be good.
Okay.
So
I picked Louisville
and Clemson.
And Louisville still only has one loss.
Yeah, Louisville still has a chance. Georgia Tech still has a chance, but Miami does not.
Yeah, they're
out.
They're out. They're done.
And there's no possible way.
No, because they can't slip into the ACC championship to redeem themselves.
And there's no possible way.
They need that extra game to get.
They would have needed Florida to be a top 10 team to be able to somehow.
South Florida went out. That would have helped out a little bit because the way Miami handled South Florida, you know.
Yeah,
it would have looked good.
I mean, but what is the problem? What is the problem with Miami? They've got the stud.
They play to their opponent's level.
They've got the stud defenders.
Yeah.
And Carson Beck, who looked like $1 million. I mean, if you would stop the season at game number 5, Carson Beck would have possibly been the first pick of the draft. He'd have probably went to the Jets or the Saints or Miami, right?
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, you're right.
But now, do you even see him? I mean,
first rounder?
Yeah, is he a first rounder still?
It depends what he does for the rest of the year.
Yeah, because last year, same thing happened. Cam Ward. They lost, but he still looked pretty good. The team wasn't playing that well, but he played well enough to be able to be the first pick.
Yeah, and actually he sat out, I don't know if he sat out the whole bowl game or just the second half, and Iowa State came back and beat them in a high-scoring game, 45-44, I think.
Well, our man, Christopher Multiconte, he has been writing the running game and the personnel is the problem, and it's on offense. Shannon Dawson is handcuffed by Mario. And did you see that? Did you see their conflict that they had on the sideline on Saturday?
No, I did not.
So apparently Mario went by, said something to him, turned around, and Dawson just let him have it. So I mean, it was a really bad. It was a really bad deal. Was a bad look for the team. It just seemed like they wasn't on the same page. And so Chris, being a fan, I will trust Chris and say that Mario is trying to tell Shannon Dawson what to do, or is telling him not to do this or not to do that, and Dawson is kind of getting frustrated because if you remember, before about 5 or 6 games, Dawson was mentioned at some of these head coaching jobs of possibly taking over Florida and that kind of thing, but I think that ship has sailed for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, don't you think?
Yeah. Just like Gus Malzahn.
Yeah, he sailed too.
Yeah.
But I mean, so where does Miami go from here? Are they going to be able?
Look, steady the ship. You know, Chris Multiconte, you're a Hurricanes fan. Don't be stabbing all the players and everything and the coaches and everything. Look, stick with your guys, steady the ship, finish out 10-2, win your bowl game. And then next year, you know what you do? You do what you did this year. You came in and you were like, we're going to run the ACC. And just have that confidence that you can do it again next year.
It's easy for you to say.
Why? My team's 5-3.
It's easy for you to say that kind of stuff, but you're not implementing the same kind of feel for your team as well. We've been
No. I'm not talking trash. You know why I'm not talking trash?
You're not talking trash
because I'll have
players.
Heck to pay on this show because I got a Bama guy across from me that's gonna, rub it in my face if my team falls flat, and especially if we lose like 31-10 or 38-10, because these are possibilities.
He's being so nice right now. What do you mean he's going to rub it in later?
Yeah,
I think he's setting you up.
Well, the problem is if I run my mouth, which I shouldn't do, then he's going to rub it in my face later, and that was not good. That's why I don't talk trash when I think we're probably going to lose this game. So.
But I mean, and again, we've talked about it because of all the coaches that are being available now, and it's just. For me, it was hard for me yesterday hearing you say that Penn State was a better job than LSU, because I still don't think you're thinking
it's
level
ahead. It's not by leaps and leaps and bounds. It's not a lot of it. It's not a lot. It's just that they have a lot of particulars. Penn State does. That LSU doesn't. And the only two things that LSU really has going for them is that we have better athletes in our area, our region. We recruit better.
And you win ball games more and better. And you've won the national championship within the last 5-6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
6 years ago. It's been 6 years, man.
And when's the last time Penn State's won a national title?
But who made the Final Four last year in the playoffs?
One time.
I mean, they were in the conversation and ran Notre Dame towards the end.
Yes, so did SMU, so did Arizona State, so did Boise. All these teams made it, but if their coaches leave, ain't nobody going to be going up there to the play. I'm telling you. But everybody, if you ask anybody that has a brain, for the most part, they're going to tell you that LSU is the best job open in college football, and there's no even second guessing.
I was watching national ESPN, and they had, they have to have one of everybody, right? So one guy said Florida, one guy said Penn State, and one guy said LSU. And I was like, this doesn't solve anything.
But that's for
discussion.
Good TV. We're talking, we give the realistic feels on this show.
And you know what? Brandon, he believes, just like I said, he said Penn State's a top 15 coaching job, right? Overall, out of all the teams in the nation, right? And I'm like, well, you know what? They've gone 15th, and 14th in the last 3 years in recruiting. And LSU's been like 7, 11, and I can't remember what the other number was, but it was definitely higher than 15.
But when you look at it, it is based off of what you go after as well, because what teams don't do, like a lot of people probably don't know this, but everybody don't just go after the top 25 kids in the country.
Yeah,
you might put your hat in with somebody, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 of those kids out of 25. But it is about fitment. It is about not wasting your time. Or it is about going and saying, hey, do you have any interest of coming to the University of Alabama? Do you have any interest in coming to the University of Miami? Do you have any interest in coming to LSU? And they might say, no, coach, my teams are these 3 and that's who I'm going with. And they no longer mess with them a lot of times.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, you made the big point. The reason why LSU is in the top 10 every year after year with the talent is because they're around the talent, because that's where they go after. Their talent base is in that area, and they're right there by Texas, and they're right there by Mississippi, and they're not too far from Alabama, and they're not too far from from Florida. But when you come in, when you wear that Tiger, that purple and gold Tiger shirt, and you come into that that high school or on that sideline to talk to that recruit or that family, they're going to give you respect. Why? Because it's LSU. Why? Because they put players in the NFL. Why? Because they win national titles. Why? Because they're in the SEC. And those are the things that Penn State cannot say when they come down to the South.
I'm going to say that Penn State has a fans, like the fan base, it's up there, man. They have some pretty crazy fans. And not as bad as LSU, though. Because the reason why Shaquille came to LSU, do you know why? He came to Tiger Stadium for a football game. And you know what they announced? They said, everybody, let's give a round of applause for this recruit that's in our stadium. Please come to LSU and play basketball. And the whole stadium went nuts. And Shaq's like looking around, and he's in high school. He's in high school, and he looks around, and he's like, oh, my God, I got to not come to here, you know? And that was for basketball.
Yeah.
We aren't as crazy in basketball. I mean, the arena only holds like 13,000 people, where the football stadium back then was 89, and now it's 102-something.
Yeah.
You know? And that gets people drawn in, and that's another part of the recruiting. Because Shaquille O'Neal was going to high school in San Antonio, Texas.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got to think, at that time, LSU, they wasn't that good in basketball at all, honestly.
They were 3 years removed from a Final Four. They made it in 86. They made a Final Four appearance, and this was 89.
That was with Chris Jackson and them?
No. Chris Jackson did not ever make even a tournament win. Believe it or not.
Wow.
Chris Jackson was only 1 year ahead of Shaq.
He was ahead of Shaq. They won in the tournament. They won a game in the tournament. Yeah, Dale Brown won a game in the tournament. They lost. They had They
lost second round then.
Yeah, they had Shaq, they had Chris Jackson, they had Stanley Roberts, and they had Vernell Singleton. All of those guys.
Singleton was still there.
Yeah,
okay.
all of those
and
guys.
Sims, I don't know if Sims was there. He might have been gone. But no, there was a guy named Jose Vargas.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, he was our center in 86 when we went to the Final Four. And we lost to the eventual national champion, and that was the Louisville Cardinals.
Yeah. Well, I want to read some of this. Somebody said, Christopher Montecante said that nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to live in Baton Rouge or Gainesville. So there you go. A little bit of the hate going on.
I don't know when's the last time he went to Gainesville, but I've been there only 2 times, believe it or not. And I believe it was 95, and it was like a small little rinky-dink town. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, that college town has blown up. It is a different place now.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
I went there 2 years ago when Florida beat Tennessee in the swamp.
Wow.
And, I mean, that's kind of, yeah.
Well, I'll just say this. If you can go to Gainesville and play for the University of Florida, and if you can go to Baton Rouge and play for LSU, you're doing pretty good in life.
Oh, yeah, you are.
You're doing pretty good in life.
Coral Gables, it's not the fans. Sorry. They're not top 10 in fandom.
Right. We've discussed it, with them. But
and you want to be there. You got to have more kids, Chris. Bring them to the game. Make them yell their head off till they can't talk no more.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. Well, we get to do this because of our great sponsors. AutoNation Ford in Panama City, they are the one. If you need a vehicle, maybe you're in the market for a used truck, maybe you're looking for a new truck, why don't you go see those guys over there at Panama City, right there by the railroad tracks, 730 West 15th Street. They can get you hooked up. They've got Super Duties. They've got Expeditions. They got F-150s. They got all types, all models, all colors. So whatever kind you want, you can go pick it out. If they don't have the color you want or the package that you want, they can actually find it and have it shipped in for you just like you want. So go see those guys, 730 West 15th Street in Panama City. Recommended Collision Center. If your mirrors, if your air condition, if your hoods, if your handles don't work, they can fix it. I know there's camera problems, there's sensor problems, there's wheel problems. There's all kinds of problems on vehicles when it starts getting cold. So go see those guys on Jinx Avenue. Brandon and the locally owned and operated team of Tex can help you out. They are phenomenal. You know how we talk about, when you get a part put on your vehicle, don't just clip on. Like, you got to line that baby up. You got to get it done right. But not only that, you've got to get it perfectly matched to your color. And so, sometimes the sun fades your color. Well, you know what they do? They're able to match that color. And it wasn't even their original color. I still am astounded by that because I don't even know how they do it.
You have described everything about my van.
In different colors.
The color is gone, the paint's gone, but if you've noticed, I have to Dukes of Hazzard it everywhere I go. I got to jump through my window because my door won't open.
Yeah, well, we got somebody that can fix that. And, but it helps you. It gives you that exercise. It keeps that keto body going.
Right.
Keto body.
Yeah. I mean, I exercise now just in case my car catches fire and I got to escape a burning Honda.
Well, you know what? If you do need any kind of fitness, you can go check out Anytime Fitness in Panama City. Don't forget to go out there. They got the great workout room. They got everything for you right there. You can go check them out. They're in the, what's it called? I can't pronounce
Coronado
it. Coronado Village.
That's
yes,
a heck
that's
of a segue,
right.
too.
Yeah, so it worked out really good. Yeah. And go see those guys over there at Anytime Fitness right there in Panama City, right next to, I think it's Granny, in the same area as Granny Cantrells.
Right. And I tell you what, if you call in, we'll give you a free 30-day membership.
There you go. So yeah, you want to get 30 days to see whether or not you want to do this? Don't wait till the first of the year. Do this before Thanksgiving dinner. Get yourself ready to go before Thanksgiving so that all your in-laws and all of the people can say, wow, you're getting buff.
Yeah, 850-215-6290 if you call that and crush it.
Take it from us, the most buff ESPN radio show in all of Panama City Beach.
Panama City, that's right. Give me some of that. Yes, sir, that's right. That's what we do. But either way,
that morning show's not pumping like us.
No way. So when we come back, we are going to have the Mosley Dolphins head football coach, Tommy Joe Whidden, on next here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Are you sick of the old sports talk? The vanilla opinions? The polite debates? The hosts who are afraid to say what they really think? So are we. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is bringing the house. It's the new Sports Blitz.
Weekdays, 4 to 6.
We're starting arguments, not conversations. The Sports Blitz.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Thursday. Slightly foggy and mostly clear tonight with a light breeze coming out of the southeast around 5 miles per hour and temps near 63. Tomorrow morning we will have a mixture of slight fog and mostly sunshine and be hot at 76. Mostly clear in the afternoon and evening and a high 77. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
So you've heard the saying that if you love your job, you'll never have to work? Well, it's true.
I've worked for Brock Lawn and Pest Control for many years. The commitment to the needs of customers
and their commitment to each employee makes Brock a company I'm very proud to be a part of.
Brock's core values are also mine. Give people more than they expect and always honor your promises.
This isn't a job. It's a service to help people live a healthier lifestyle.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control. Our family protecting your family.
Well, it's that time of the year again, folks. Yep, Christmas is right around the corner. And to avoid the stress and rush, Tracy's Fine Jewelry is starting our Christmas sale early. That's right, all diamond jewelry is on sale for 30% off. All estate jewelry is on sale now for 40% off. Rings, earrings, pendants, and bracelets. Mark it off your list and lay away now. At Tracy's Fine Jewelry, we love to save you time and money. So avoid the rush and come see us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry, where Santa shops.
College Football Saturday on ESPN Radio.
Leaping grab at the 2 and into the end zone. Indiana, touchdown.
Undefeated and ranked number 2 in the nation. The Indiana Hoosiers head to Penn State to face the Nittany Lions.
And you want a team that I might least like to play? Indiana would certainly be at the top of the list.
Second-ranked Indiana at Penn State.
Coverage starts Saturday morning at 10:30 on 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Transmitting from the CBC Construction Studio. The sports world is a battlefield of opinions. And every day, Paul Wilson brings the heat, the fire, and the definitive take. Don't just follow the headlines. Be a part of the story on the Sports Blitz. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, tonight, Thursday Night Football, Vegas at Denver. Coverage starts at 6:30. Kickoff is at 7:15 right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're live and local in the CBC Construction Studios. Also, don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290, and we will appreciate you for doing that. Also, you can like and share our Facebook page or YouTube or Twitch or any social media app as well. We are honored today to have the coach of the Mosley Dolphins. He's on the phone. He just found out today his fate for this playoff season, and we have him right here. Coach Tommy Joe Whidden. Coach Tommy, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Man, it's exciting season, and it's crazy how the Florida High School Athletic Association does it. They shoot out this deal where you can put it on the bracket and see where you're placed. And it's a kind of strange deal, especially coming from Alabama. We've talked about it before, and they don't really do it that way. You kind of know who you're playing. Do you think that that's exciting for the kids to kind of like, it's almost like watching it for the basketball and college basketball?
Yeah, I mean, this definitely, don't get me wrong, it's exciting just from the, not knowing, uncertainty of who you're going to play, and then just to make it even more uncertain, like you don't know the formula. So you literally have no rhyme or reason to know why you're playing the team that you're playing, what caused the team to move this much, what caused the team to move that. And, then they spit out who you're playing. So, yeah, there's definitely some excitement from that point. But, as a coach, you'd much rather, have a better idea and have a feel for who you're about to play.
Now, y'all have been practicing as, business as usual. Obviously, you guys knew you were going to make the playoffs, and you kind of knew where you were going to be. You knew you were going to be hosting for sure.
Right.
So have y'all been, that's what y'all been doing? Have y'all been just kind of working on some things, kind of shoring up some things maybe that during the year y'all maybe, got away from or anything like that?
Yeah, so this week, the main focus has been Mosley. Like you said, cleaning some things up, working on a lot of different special teams type things, and then just really getting deep into situational football, and just very unique things that may come up during the game, and how we want to play those situations. Also just some other things. Last play of the game from certain spots on the field. Making sure we're all on the same page on that, and just knowing again how we want to play those situations. So when they arise, it's not the first time the kids have heard it, that we have an understanding of what we're trying to do. We've talked about it, and then obviously hopefully we can be able to execute it in the moment as well.
Okay, so we know that you guys drew Lincoln, and what do you know about Lincoln as far as a football team this year? And then have you received your film yet, or are you going to be getting your film?
Yeah, no, we've gotten the film from Lincoln already. Their defensive coordinator is a really good friend of mine. He actually used to be the head coach at Lincoln up until this last year. He got tired of being a head coach and stepped down and just went to the defensive coordinator role, which is a little bit unique. But yeah, we traded film, and we got all the films from Lincoln, and they're a good football team. As you know, Lincoln's a traditional power in the state of Florida. This year they've gone 6-4. They've got a left-handed quarterback that's athletic. He's committed to South Alabama. Crazy enough, we played him 2 years ago as a sophomore when he was the quarterback at Childs, and then he transferred to Lincoln this year. They got a wideout that can really fly. He runs a 10-4, 100-meter.
Wow.
They can get behind the defense, so they definitely are going to present some challenges. And then, on the defensive side of the ball, they got kids that can run, and Coach Tyson, who runs the defense, is going to give you a lot of different looks. He's going to try to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, play lots of man-to-man, and then mix in some zone coverage just to try to confuse the quarterback. So they're definitely a formidable opponent, and but we're excited to play and get to work and get our game plan together.
Yeah, and that's the key. I mean, everybody's 0-0. We've talked about that now going into the playoffs and just really getting to do the things well that you know you can go to, but also being able to establish things that you like to establish, especially on offense. You want to be able to spread them out and really get your matchups that you're looking for. And so with that, kind of walk us through how does it work from now? I mean, are you guys going to practice every day up until the weekend? Do you give the days off? And then will it be like game prep come Monday, or will you start on Sunday for your game prep with your game being on Thursday night?
Yeah, so we're treating this week, this week was a bye week. We're treating it as a bye week. We give the guys Monday and Friday off. We practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then coaches will come in. We'll spend all day, after church on Sunday. We'll get here at 1 o'clock and just work until we feel good about the game plan. And, and then Monday the guys will come in. We'll start the install and then just get to our weekly practice from there, because Bay is also in the playoffs. We're playing on Thursday. But heck, our last two ball games have been on Thursday. So that's a format that we're very comfortable with and know how we want to execute our practice week, playing on a Thursday. So, like I said, just, again, excited to find out who we're playing and just ready to get to work.
So this week's Sports Blitz Player of the Week was your linebacker, Wyatt Fleming, and had an excellent game last week and just, has been that stalwart on defense for you all year. When you needed a big tackle, when you needed, pressure to the quarterback, when you needed a stop on a run, it just seemed like he found the football. He's almost like a magnet on the football. Tell us a little bit about Wyatt and what he means to the program and how good of a year he's had this year.
Yeah, Wyatt's he's a great kid. He's our defensive captain. He's a 3-year starter for us, so has a ton of experience, a heady, really smart football player, and also he's just a student of the game. Comes from a football family. Football is important to him. Mosley football is important to him, and he lays it on the line every single week. He's tough. He's physical. He's hard-nosed. He's everything that you want a middle linebacker to be. He's not scared to be a leader. He's not scared to challenge guys and expect a lot out of his teammates around him because he expects that out of himself. And again, just so happy for him, the success that he's had, because you always love it when kids who work really hard, do things the right way, put in the preparation, have success on the field. And again, Wyatt's had a great year for us, and excited to watch him play here in the coming weeks in the playoffs.
And so with the way it's set up, and obviously I'm not a bracketology guy, but is it looking as though if you win this one, you'll get to host another one?
Well, it would depend on what would happen on the pair next to us. It's the 2-7 between Daytona Beach Mainland and Middleburg, which is out of Jacksonville. If Mainland were to win, we'd be on the road headed to Daytona Beach, and if Middleburg were to upset Mainland, we'd be hosting Middleburg at home. So that's kind of how it unfold. But as you could imagine, our sole focus is just making sure we're doing everything that we can to beat Lincoln.
So tell us and tell the listeners that are listening right now, because they'll listen to it, on Facebook, whether they're live right now or whether they're listening later on when they found out you're on here, and even the listeners that are on the radio right now. Tell them how important it is for them to come out. Obviously, it's on a Thursday night, but how important it will be for those boys, for your team, for them to come out and cheer for you and this team.
Yeah, I mean, these boys, to me, definitely deserve the support of everybody in Bay County. Obviously got off, to a rocky start. To lose to your crosstown rivals was definitely not the way we wanted the year to go. But these guys just have a ton of mental toughness and have worked their butts off and continue to get better every single week to go 9-1. I think probably after the Bay High game, most people might have written us off and not think that we'd be able to get to 9-1, but here we are, and hopefully we've earned the respect of everybody in Bay County through our work, and we just really appreciate everybody came out to cheer these guys on. I think whenever you're playing at home and home field advantage, especially in the playoffs, could be a massive difference maker. Being loud, forcing the other team to have to execute in a loud environment, have to be able to communicate, and the more fans that we can get there to just put pressure on Lincoln to be in a hostile environment, the better it's going to be for the Mosley Dolphins.
Are you more worried about playing a team that has a superstar, or this team that has 3 wide receivers in Jacobs, Paul, and Denmark, where they spread the ball to 3 different wide receivers, and that's basically all they really have as far as the passing game goes?
Yeah, no, I mean, they definitely got guys that can be able to make plays out in space, and something that we've seen over the course of the season. I think that's one thing that we've definitely improved upon as the season has gone along, is just our guys that are on the back end, and I'm confident in Coach Killitz and the game plan that they'll come up with to keep those guys in check. But yeah, definitely whenever it's not just one guy, and it can kind of be a moving target on who they're going to go to, it definitely forces you as a defense to make sure that we're all on the same page, our communication is great, and that we're not allowing one of those other guys to sneak and get behind us on the back end.
Are y'all a 3 or 4 seed?
Right now we're the 3 seed.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and so, Coach, let me ask you this. As far as I just want to make sure that we give you the opportunity, is there any kind of fundraising or any kind of donation things or anything like that your team or the quarterback club is doing, so that if y'all have to travel, that you guys would need the extra funds or anything like that anybody that's listening or businesses that are listening right now could donate to the program?
Oh, definitely. I don't think most people understand that just playoff football just means more funds, for the program. And the deeper you go, just the more expenses that puts on the program. And we don't get any funds from the school district or the state of Florida. That we have to fundraise on our own and be able to self-support. And the easiest way to do that is to go to mosleyfootball.com. On there at the very top, there'll be a donation tab, and you click on that tab, and it'll take you to a page where you can be able to donate to Mosley football. We accept money in all forms, and we'd appreciate the listeners to be able to help support us on this playoff push.
That sounds awesome, and that's what it's all about, and everybody as the community coming together for Bay County. You know what I mean? Yes, it's Mosley football, but you know what? We're Bay County. We're all together. We're all in this together, and these young men have have come in the summer. They've been in the weight room. They've been on the field. They've been practicing, and they've been giving it their all. And what a way to support the community by going and supporting these high school teams that's made the playoffs. Now, Coach, as always, we always step out of high school a little bit and want to ask you some questions. Now, there was a job that just came available that might be a little bit near and dear to your heart. And so how did you feel about them Auburn Tigers having stepping away from Coach Hugh Freeze?
Yeah, anytime a coach gets let go, it's definitely tough. It's tough on mainly the players. They came there wanting to play for Coach Freeze. It's definitely tough on the families of the assistant coaches and just the stress and the change that comes about. But Auburn was definitely just getting to the point where there didn't seem to be very much change in the offense and the team, and kind of got stagnant. And I think the fans and obviously the administration felt like the program needed to go in a different direction. So it's definitely frustrating, and definitely curious to see what's the new direction of Auburn football, and where's it going to go.
And when you look at Auburn play, and I have, the defense has been outstanding. They're one of 3 teams in the country that hasn't given up more than 25 points in every single game this year. I mean, it's just been, as well as I do because you were there, but the talent that they have on the defensive side of the ball, the talent that they have on the offensive side of the ball, they definitely needed a change with that team. But let me ask you this. Now that we've got LSU, now that we've got Penn State, now that we've got Florida, and now we've got Auburn, could you, for us, and just, it's no arguing here, we're a definite opinionated show, but would you just give us your top 5 jobs that are open right now? I'm just curious to see what you would say.
I would say number 1 would be LSU, because they're the only show in town in their state. The access they have to players. I would say number 2 would be Florida, because just the tradition, the amount of NFL players they've produced, the amount of national championships they've won in recent history. I would say probably number 3 is Penn State. Just being in the Big Ten, I know the Big Ten's top heavy, but the bottom half of the league, in my opinion, is not as strong as the SEC, and I think you'd have a better shot at the playoff at Penn State than you probably would realistically as Auburn. As much as I am an Auburn fan, I hate to admit it, Auburn's always been and probably always will be little brother to Alabama.
I hear you, Coach.
The likelihood of them having the run and success of Alabama is probably not, but Auburn definitely has proven that they can get there. In every 5 to 6 year run where they can put the right mix together. And then I guess you would say 5 would be Arkansas, just because it's in, the SEC. But again, that's still kind of tough. Maybe Virginia Tech, I don't know. After that, you're kind of splitting hairs on to me what number 5 is, and that's just off the top of my head. Maybe there's something out there.
Yeah, and we agree. Yeah, we agree. And I knew that. I knew, because you're a football mind. You've coached in college. You're a head football coach in high school, not of just a regular school, but a playoff school. And I trust you, Coach. And Jeffrey's laughing at me right now. And the reason why I said that, and he's not going to argue. I've held him off today, but he's got Penn State. He's an LSU fan, Coach, and he said Penn State's job is the best job in the country, and I'm just appalled. I told him that he's not welcome to go back to Louisiana anymore by picking
it definitely
Penn
has
State.
Some perks, but just my argument for LSU and Florida is just, they've won national championships. I know the NIL era is completely different.
Yeah.
And it's a different deal, but they've at least won national championships in the recent history, where Penn State, it's been, what was it, 80s, 90s the last time that they're in that conversation. So I'll just give the recency bias the nod to them. So, and again, I'm curious to see what Auburn's going to do. I think Auburn's about to be on their 4th head coach in 8 years.
Yeah.
And just the amount of money that's essentially been lit on fire in that program. Are they going to try to go the discount route and, try to get one of these former head coaches that's got to buy out, from somewhere else, a Jimbo Fisher, a James Franklin, so they don't have to pump as much money into the head coach when they're paying a ton of fired head football coaches.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see, and I'm with you on that. I think some of these guys like that you named is probably going to have the opportunity. It just depends on getting the numbers right and making sure that it works out. And then I also agree with what Coach Kiffin said, that there may be a new way of going forward with the new way of doing the 4 years instead of doing these big long-term deals. Although, it's been reported that there's a chance that he might be a $150 million man down in Florida, or over in Florida. So either way, I don't know how that goes. One last question about college, and then we'll let you go because I know you're busy. Were you surprised in the college football playoff ranking that Notre Dame was in that 10th spot, knowing that Oklahoma's sitting outside, Texas sitting outside, and even Louisville sitting outside?
Yeah, I mean, every year, there's always, there's a head scratcher, about, what is the measuring stick? What are the qualifications? But the beautiful thing is there's a lot of football to be left to be played, and hopefully it'll work itself out. But again, you can't deny the fact that at the end of the day, this is as much as it's college football, it's a TV production. Yeah. And there are millions of Notre Dame fans out there, and because of that, you have to accept the fact they're always going to get the benefit of doubt because they put, butts in the seat, and they put viewers on the screen, and that equals millions of dollars. And, that's just one of the perks that Notre Dame has, and sadly probably one of the reasons why they will never join a conference because of that. And they know it, and it's their flex, and that's just kind of what makes college football great and crazy, and it's just, all part of the show.
That's right. I agree with you. Well, we're going to end it right there. We're going to be up against a break. But, Coach, we appreciate you coming on, and we'll touch base with you next week and see how things are going and for your prep. And then, obviously, we'll be there on the sideline cheering you guys on Thursday night. So we appreciate you coming on with us, Coach. Thanks for letting us get you first with your reaction to your playoff berth right here in Panama City.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. And when we come back, we are going to dive into a little bit of NFL and get some pick'ems going on. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Call in now.
This is Touchstone service.
The Red 70s studio line is open.
Demonstrate how to make a call with your dial telephone.
850-215-6290. Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter Storm Enzo.
And breaking weather as it happens.
Hurricane Helene.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
Rely on it.
It's the end of the year and the perfect time to unwrap big savings on a brand new 2025 Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Ready for adventure? Well, drive into the holidays in an award-winning Kia SUV line like the Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or the bold Telluride. If you want luxury and performance, slide into the sleek 2025 Kia K4 or K5 sedan, always designed to thrill. And going electric this year? Spark inspiration with the all-electric 2025 EV6 long-range fast charging and electrifying style. At Bill Bird Kia, you'll get comfort, safety, and technology all wrapped into one perfect package. And don't forget, we're the original home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street in Panama City or online anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Bill Bird Kia, your local community dealer. Love your ride this holiday season. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty.
Your home for college football. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This Saturday night, your 5-3 LSU Tigers are looking for a big upset in Tuscaloosa when they played a 7-1 and number 4 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide.
75 yards. Wow.
We'll have have coverage from Bryant-Denny Stadium starting at 6, kickoff at 6:30 on your spot for the LSU Tigers on the Gulf Coast, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
If you build it, they will come. We're live from the CBC Construction Studios. The Sports Blitz.
Woo! Welcome home, baby.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're so glad that you've joined us today, whether you're listening on the radio, whether you're watching us live on Facebook or YouTube, or even the ESPN Northwest Florida app. We appreciate you doing that. You can like, you can share, you can comment, and we will read those comments on the air, as well as you can call in, you can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. There's a lot of stuff that goes on to make this place happening, and we appreciate you always being supportive of it. And that's really the biggest thing about all of this, is that we are a community here in Bay County, and we appreciate you listening. Don't forget, tonight, Thursday night football, Vegas at Denver. Coverage starts 6:30. Kickoff is at 7:15. And then don't forget the weekend. The weekend is dynamic. You got Indiana, hopefully, possibly going to get upset by Penn State. And then you've got Syracuse at Miami, hoping Miami can get back on the win track. And then you got the LSU Tigers going against the Alabama Crimson Tide at 6:30. Hopefully Alabama will keep the wins rolling. But anyway, as it sits, tonight's game, we got Vegas at Denver. I know that Denver has been winning, and it's been a pretty good go for them. But I've noticed something about Denver. They've been struggling at the quarterback position. Their defense is really good, but Bo Nix in the first and second quarters just not looked very good. He's been a third and fourth quarter guy. Kind of looks like the Bo Nix of Auburn. Have you been checking him out a little bit or not really?
A little bit here and there. I mean, I don't think it's too bad. I think you just hate him because he's Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. There might be a little bit of Auburn bias, but either way.
They're in first place?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, the Chargers are in second and Chiefs in third, and the Raiders are horrible.
Yeah, I mean.
Now, they traded away a guy, the Raiders did.
They did.
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers.
That was it. Jacoby Myers, wide receiver.
Jaguars.
Yeah, so you got Ashton Genty at running back, and you got Max Crosby on the defensive side. And so I wonder what's going through those guys' minds. They're like, what are we doing? And what did they get rid of? Second and fourth round pick for Myers? I mean, that's all they got?
Yeah, that's it.
This is not a good I think Pete Carroll's almost like wondering, what are we doing here? No.
Well, he brought Geno Smith with him, and I don't know if Pete Carroll has the evaluation down pat or not.
No.
Geno's not having a good year.
This might not be a duplication of what he did to the Seahawks. I'm just thinking that.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. So I'm picking Denver. I don't know if you are or not, but...
Okay, I'm not surprised at the 9.5-point spread. I'm picking the Broncos, but the 42.5 over-under is kind of surprising.
Yeah.
I would think it'd be higher than that.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think it's just going to be a scoring fest? Because I don't think...
that'd be 26-16.
I don't think the Raiders...
Does that sound like the score, 26-16?
Maybe. I don't know. I think the Broncos are probably going to be in the upper 20s, low 30s, and I think if by chance they can get to 10 or 12, they will be lucky. I just don't see it being a big deal like that.
Yeah, I got the Broncos.
Yeah, I do too.
Next game is over in Europe, I think, right? Atlanta's playing the Colts in the early morning game, so wake up early on Sunday.
And watch that one. Watch Michael Penix Jr. versus Indiana Jones going at it.
I actually think this is going to be a little bit closer than what most people are thinking, but I'm picking the Colts.
Well, I am too. I'm going with the Colts, but we will see the first time in the history of Sauce Gardner going to be dressed up in the Colts uniform. And, you know as well as I do, sorry about this Bone Crusher, but I'm just not a Michael Penix Jr. fan, so I don't think he's got the stuff. So either way, I'm going Colts.
Giants at Bears. I'm going to pick the Bears.
The Bears. I'm going with the Bears, yeah. I think Ben Johnson's done a good job with Caleb Williams. He lets him do his thing, but Caleb Williams is kind of conforming and being a quarterback. He's not really running around doing the Johnny Manziel backyard football as much. But Ben Johnson isn't, holding him and keeping him in the pocket as well either. So still working out pretty
So
good.
we picked 3 home teams.
Yeah.
Now
Which home is kind of...
Oh, yeah. Europe doesn't even
Europe
count,
is not a home game.
Yeah. But now I'm about to switch over. You ready?
Okay, yeah.
All right, Buffalo at Miami is the first one.
Oh, at Miami, huh?
Buffalo.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's an easy one, yeah.
They get another one.
So let me ask you this. Hold on.
Go.
What do you think? With Miami going like they're going, do you sense that Tua's going to get benched or McDaniel's going to get fired? Because something's got to happen.
Both.
You think they're both going to go?
This is a bad situation, man. We're 1-7 or 1-8. I've lost count now.
Yeah, at this point, yes.
We beat the
terrible.
Jets.
Yeah,
that was it. That's not very good at all.
No.
Okay.
All right.
Enough about my Dolphins, okay? Pushing it. Baltimore at Minnesota. I got Baltimore on the road. That's 2 road games in a row.
Wow. So Lamar Jackson actually looked better last week because he's come back from injury. But on the flip side of it, Minnesota has looked really decent. And the thing is that Minnesota's deal this year has been the lack of good play at quarterback. And when you look at J.J. McCarthy, he's been the handoff-o-matic guy for all of his career. But I will say this. There was a third down last Sunday. And J.J. actually delivered the ball, back shoulder throw, and made on a third down and extended the drive to win the football game. So I don't know. I'm still thinking, man, that's a tough one for me.
This is a tough
I think it's
pick.
pretty tough because I really want to believe in the Vikings. I really want them to take the next step. You
wanted the Giants, too.
I wanted
You gave up on them now.
Yeah, I've given up on them. But I haven't given up on my Colts.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I picked them from the beginning, from Jump Street. So.
Yeah, that was a good pick.
But, there's just something inside of me can't go with the Vikings, and it's at home, right? It's
Minnesota. Baltimore. We knew we thought at the beginning of the year.
Lamar Jackson.
And we were always waiting. We were like, oh, well, they're going to turn around. No, they didn't. And then they played the Chiefs, and they were like, oh, well, they're going to lose to the Chiefs. And they did. And then he got injured. And now, the season's kind of falling apart on them. And the Steelers have done much better than I think we thought they would do, right?
Yeah. I think so. When you got Lamar Jackson on turf, I mean, he's going to be really fast on that turf. But you know what? Give me the Vikings. Let's go. J.J. McCarthy's going to hand the ball off enough.
Now, it doesn't happen very often. We tied last week. We had two picks that were different, and I won one of them. You won the other one. So we tied last week.
So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I just think, give me the Vikings. Yeah,
all right.
Let's go.
Cleveland at the Jets. Give me the Cleveland Browns because the Jets have just unloaded. What the heck are they doing? Are they tanking? I don't even know. It's not even a good year to tank.
We know that they've got a lot of first-round draft picks for next year.
They do.
And a couple of second
But it's
rounds.
not a good draft. I'm sorry. I don't believe in this draft. Unless something happens between now and April and they try and convince me, oh, look at these little snippets of these plays and all that. And I'm like, no, the season wasn't that good.
Okay, but listen, let's just look at it from the other spectrum of that. You've got Jeremiah Smith. You've got Jaden Bain from Miami on the defensive line. I mean, those two guys, you grab those two guys in the first round, those are actually maybe NFL-ready football players already. So I'm not saying the Jets are going to be any better because you still got to have somebody to throw the ball to Jeremiah Smith. But I just think that's a possibility. All right.
Actually, I didn't even write down the next one, but here we go. Got Patriots at Bucks. I got the Bucks. Come on.
Yeah, I think the Bucks. I don't know.
The Patriots have a better record. They're 7-2.
Is it at the
Bucks? Are 6-2. It is at Tampa.
Okay, so
Raymond James Stadium.
You know what? I'm probably. This is going to be our last pick for the day.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have to go here in just a second. But I think I'm probably going to go to the Patriots on this one. Yeah, put me down for the Patriots.
Okay.
Now, was it odd to you that the Patriots and the Titans The Patriots asked for the Titans running back Tony Pollard for the draft. He
used to be a Cowboy.
For the free agent, or
Yeah.
not free agent, for a trade.
Yeah.
And do you know that the Titans said because of their disgust for Mike Vrabel, they would not talk about the trade with them?
Are you kidding me?
No. So
a former employee said no because we don't like you because you were here and you didn't win enough for us.
Yeah.
That's horrible, man. That's petty.
That happened over the trade deadline, yes.
And so the Titans, oh, man. Is this a dysfunctional franchise?
It's dysfunctional right now because, they're in disarray. They don't know what they're doing. So, but either way, that's going to do it for us. We appreciate you listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Tomorrow, we've got Hobzilla, and we've got a lot of Florida to talk about. You're listening to us. We love it. Have a good night, everybody.
Get in the game. Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215